3 days after I got fired, the FBI knocked on his door, not mine. That's the part he never saw coming. See? Charles Roman thought he was untouchable. He thought because he had power, because he wore expensive suits and sat in a glass office, that he could get rid of people like me without consequences. He thought I was just another name on a spreadsheet, someone to be let go quietly during a company restructure. What he didn't know was that I had built every digital doorway in that company. And he forgot to lock the most important one. My name is Matt Foster. I was the lead systems engineer at Cormax Dynamics, a private government contractor that handled everything from military-grade encryption to satellite control systems. I wasn't just an IT guy. I had root access to the company's entire digital infrastructure. Every server, every encrypted file, every confidential memo that upper management thought they had deleted. For 6 years, I ran the silent machine behind everything. I didn't ask questions. I didn't talk. I just kept things running. Until Charles showed up. He came in fast, like a hurricane in a tailored suit. New policies, secret meetings. Old executives replaced overnight. One day, we were a mid-tier contractor. The next, we were closing billion-dollar deals. But I started noticing things. Missing invoices, off-the-books expenses, encrypted payments routed through fake vendors. I wasn't a cop. I wasn't a whistleblower. But I kept records. Quietly. Just in case. Then, on a Tuesday morning, right before I was supposed to lead a cybersecurity briefing with DARPA officials, Charles called me into his office. I thought it was for the briefing. I walked in with my tablet, notes prepared, tie straightened. He didn't even look up from his desk. "We're letting you go," he said, typing as he spoke. "Your role has been restructured." I froze. "What?" "It will handle the offboarding. You'll be escorted out. No thank you, no explanation, just silence." I wasn't even allowed to shut down my terminal. 2 security guards walked me out through the lobby like I was some kind of criminal. But what Charles didn't know, what he forgot, was that I had created a decentralized emergency access node on our internal system. It was part of a fail-safe protocol from years ago, something I'd coded in case of catastrophic lockout. No one else even knew it existed. And now, the man who fired me had no idea I still had a key to everything. I didn't do anything that night. Not out of fear, but because I wanted it to simmer. I wanted Charles to feel safe, confident. I wanted him to keep doing whatever he thought he was getting away with. Because I wasn't interested in revenge. Not yet. I was interested in the truth. So I waited. 2 days. 3. Then, at 2:17 a.m. On a Friday, I drove back to the Cormax parking garage. I still had the parking app installed. Still had the auto-access tag on my license plate. Still knew every corner the cameras didn't watch. I wasn't dressed in black. No ski mask. No gloves. Just an old hoodie and a cap. No one questioned me. No one ever did. Inside, I took the service stairwell. Swiped my phone past the security scanner. Nothing beeped. But I wasn't trying to get into the mainframe. I had something better. 2 years ago, I'd built a test server deep in the architecture of the backup grid, a sandbox server meant to simulate network attacks. It had full access permissions for testing, and it had never been deleted. I logged in using the emergency node. My screen lit up like I'd never left. Full system root. Real-time mirror access to every data transaction inside Cormax. Emails, transfers, file changes. I could see Charles's personal drive like it was a glass wall. And what I saw made my stomach twist. He wasn't just restructuring. He was laundering, rerouting defense contract funds into fake shell firms. He had spreadsheets labeled overflow allocation, filled with payments to non-existent consultants. One file just titled Sync contained the full list of falsified reports submitted to federal agencies. If that got out, it wouldn't just be corporate fraud, it would be national security fraud. And the kicker? My name was on some of the documents. As a witness, as an approver. He hadn't just fired me, he'd framed me. Tried to wipe me off the map. I copied everything, every file, every log, every encrypted backup. I built a custom drive with a ghosted identifier and embedded timestamps. Then I logged out carefully. No digital fingerprints. No flags. But I wasn't finished. I needed backup. Real backup. So I reached out to someone who owed me. Marcus Day. Former NSA contractor turned cybersecurity attorney. He picked up on the first ring. "Matt?" he said. "Tell me this is a social call." "It's not," I replied. "I've got something nuclear." I met him the next morning. We sat in the back booth of a diner in Virginia. I handed him the drive. He plugged it in and didn't speak for a full 10 minutes. When he finally looked up, his face had gone pale. "This isn't just fraud," he whispered. "This is espionage territory. You could go down for this." I shook my head. "Not if we go first." And that's when we made the decision. We wouldn't take it to the media. We wouldn't go public. We'd go higher to the Federal Oversight Division for defense contractors. Anonymous, protected, bulletproof. And once it landed on their desks, the clock would start ticking for Charles. It took exactly 9 days. 9 days from the moment Marcus submitted the file to the Oversight Division until the first black SUV pulled up in front of Cormax's headquarters. No sirens, no press. Just 4 federal agents in dark suits walking calmly through the glass doors at 9:14 a.m. They didn't stop at reception. They didn't ask for Charles. They knew exactly where to go. According to Jenna, a friend who still worked inside, they walked straight to the executive floor and sealed off his office. She said Charles went pale the moment he saw the badges. He tried to joke, act confused, pull the classic, "What's this about?" routine. But it didn't work. One agent handed him a printed document, a warrant. Another opened a silver briefcase and began cloning his terminal. By 10 a.m., Charles had been escorted out. No smile this time. No cardboard box. Just silence, shock, and a crowd of stunned employees watching the man who once ruled the building get led away without a word. The news broke 2 days later. Coup of defense contractor Cormax Dynamics under federal investigation for fraud, espionage, and misappropriation of government funds. His mugshot was everywhere. Slick hair disheveled, tie undone, eyes sunken. The internet feasted on it. But the best part? My name wasn't in any report. Not once. The whistleblower protection covered every trace. Legally, I was a ghost. But behind the scenes, Jenna told me what happened next. The board launched an emergency audit. Hundreds of documents were re-examined. Every fake vendor, every shady payout, every forged signature, all traced back to Charles. He had been sloppy, arrogant. He thought no one was watching. Thought no one could trace the shell companies he created. But he forgot the first rule of power. Someone always builds the system underneath. And in this case, that someone was me. Within a month, Cormax's federal contracts were frozen. 2 of Charles's closest allies resigned quietly. The CEO gave a statement on camera, promising complete cooperation with federal agencies. But behind his calm voice, you could hear it, the fear. Because it wasn't just one man who went down, it was an entire machine. And me? I didn't say a word. Didn't post online. Didn't brag. I moved to another state. Took a quiet job at a nonprofit. Started over. But every now and then, when I walk past a locked door or hear someone talk about security, I smile. Because I know something most people don't. Keys don't always look like keys. Sometimes they're lines of code. Sometimes they're hidden access ports. And sometimes they're just memories buried in a mind that built the whole damn thing. Charles thought firing me was the end, but it was only the beginning. He thought he held the power. But in the end, it wasn't his company, or his title, or his office that controlled everything. It was me, the guy he forgot, the guy he tried to erase, the guy with the key to everything.